Hey, one more thing before you go. Weddings, chaos, and comedy. Who'd have thought to team up Will Ferrell and Reese Witherspoon for a rom-com? Did you ever think about that, Diane?
No, I had never thought about that, but it worked.
But it worked. I was just going to say,
Hmm.
did it work? Did the
It
guy get the
worked.
girl? Did the girl get the guy?
Well, we're not going to say,
We're not going to say,
but
we're not going to give away the ending. But find out more about this wonderful opportunity for a movie in this special Over the Teacup Sunday episode. We dive into the latest buzz in the world of film when we discuss the much anticipated rom com, You're Cordially Invited. It hit screens in January 30th, 2025, and it's a brilliant movie. I know that IMDb, some of the people on there really aren't thinking straight, but we're going to talk about that. I'm your host, Michael Hurst. I'm here with my lovely wife and co host, Diane.
hello, everyone.
So grab your favorite cup of tea and whatever else you're drinking, and let's have a conversation. Hello, Diane.
Hello, Michael.
I forgot to say this is one more thing before you go. Welcome to the
Okay.
show,
Over the Teacup Sunday.
Over the Teacup Sunday with Michael and Diane. Yeah, we'll get it straight here pretty soon.
It's fine. It's fine. They know.
We have the Grammys on our mind because the Grammys
Hmm.
are about ready to start, and we've been watching Grammy stuff all day.
Yes,
And
I'm very
not
excited.
to
So
be
I got
confused,
my funky scarf on. It's got the
not
funky
yeah,
colors because it's
for
Grammy.
Grammy, yeah, not to be confused with Grandma Grammy.
No,
These are the Grammys,
the Grammys.
the
Yes,
Grammys.
music.
Yes. Not
Hmm.
that I ever called my grandma Grammy, but I've been watching
I
too
didn't.
much of Sheldon, young Sheldon.
Yeah,
Mama, Grammy,
yeah. Hmm. Meemaw.
Meemaw, Meemaw.
Hmm.
That's it.
Hmm.
Hey, let's talk a little bit about this film. It stars
Yes.
the hilarious duo of Will Ferrell and Reese Witherspoon. It's
Hmm.
available exclusively on Amazon Prime Video. And this movie takes
Hmm.
the classic wedding comedy to new heights as two families accidentally double book the same wedding venue, leading to a series of chaotic and heartwarming events.
Yes.
So, yeah, it's called You're Cordially
You're
Invited.
cordially invited.
Like
Yes.
I said, and it's really cool the way we noticed that right off the bat, how they actually present the opening credits.
Yeah.
You look,
As as invitations, sort of.
yeah, there's an invitation.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
It's
like,
pretty cool because it allows the audience to know exactly who is playing which part instead of just scrolling through the names and you're like, well, I don't know them by their name. Who
yeah,
is that? You actually get to know right off the bat who the mother of the bride is, who
the
the
fathers of the
relatives are.
bride, who
Yeah.
the bridesmaids are, who the best men are, and that kind
Hmm.
of a thing. So, yeah, I think what a unique perspective in doing that. I thought
Yeah,
it was
that's
pretty
pretty cool.
slick when they did it that way.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
we saw the advertisements for it and everything, and at first you kind of think, well, does that really work? Does that dynamic work? But
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
when we get
At first, I was like, Will Ferrell and Reese Witherspoon. Let me think about this for a
yeah,
second. But I mean, I love them both and everything. So I was like, okay, yeah,
we
I'll
just
give it a
never paired
shot.
them together. But
Yeah,
they actually have been in something together. So I was
they
going to
have.
surprise you with that. Yeah, I'll tell you about it in a few
Oh,
minutes.
okay.
So they actually did. They were in something on film together.
Hmm.
Yeah. So it's kind of like yeah they had a previous little interlude. We'll call it that way.
Hmm. Okay.
But
Well,
wedding.
I can't believe we missed that.
Well, we didn't really miss it yet. We saw it.
We
You'll
did.
recognize it when I bring it up to you.
Oh, okay. I'm getting old.
It'll be a
Hmm.
surprise. It'll be a surprise. Yeah, it's just like getting up in the morning. Surprise, I'm awake.
Surprise. Hmm.
Well, wedding planning is always kind of unique. I mean, looking, how many other movies have we watched? The Wedding Crashers, there's a whole slew of stuff with the Wedding
Yes.
Planner, actually with Jennifer Lopez, and several other people have done
Hmm.
it on different versions of it.
Hmm.
Four weddings and a funeral.
Yeah.
There's a lot of wedding
Movies.
themed movies, and we just
Hmm.
watched it and actually reviewed it with Brooke Shields. That was all about a
Hmm.
wedding and planning a wedding and so forth. we
and who could
personally,
forget Father of the Bride?
oh, Father of the Bride, yes, several
Can't
of them,
forget that one. Yeah.
and the one afterwards, kind of a remake type one.
Hmm. Hmm.
So yeah, we understand wedding planning, never without its challenges because we've done it ourselves. We did our
Hmm.
wedding. We were our own wedding planners. And
Hmm.
then we helped with Caitlin and Cord with their wedding, kind of
Hmm.
as their wedding planners. And that came with its own challenges within itself because you kind of you have that dynamic. I won't say unique dynamic, but we have that dynamic of who's doing what and who's paying for what and who's going to contribute the most and what the wedding is supposed to look like and
Yeah.
you know
Yeah.
between the father of the bride, as you said earlier,
Hmm.
and the mother of the bride, and or
Hmm.
the father or mother of the groom.
Right.
There's always you kind of like who's doing what. So yeah, we
Hmm.
had that before, but we're going to discuss
Yeah.
the films. We're going to discuss this film and how they portray the
Hmm.
stress and the excitement of planning a big event like that. And I think it is. We're not going to give a whole lot away other than something that you can't read, for example. So obviously, Will Ferrell is a father of the bride. Reese Witherspoon isn't actually the mother
No.
of the bride. No, wait a minute.
No.
Of
She's the
the
sister
She's the sister of the bride.
of the other bride. Yes.
Yes,
There's
of the
two
other
brides.
bride.
Yes.
I'll get it together here in a second.
There are two brides. There are
There
two
are two
families.
brides, two families,
Yes.
because they're both trying to get the same place at the same time. They
Right.
both kind of got double booked, and there's a twist to that. We're not going to give that away,
No.
but they got double booked at this kind of. Yeah, I guess it's kind of like the Hamptons. Everybody goes, "Oh, I really want to get married at this place. We want to get married
Hmm.
on that dock. We want to get married in this area." So and
Hmm.
it books up quickly.
Yeah.
So it there's a complication there that kind of happened to show up,
Hmm.
and great stories. You know, it's got a
Yeah.
wonderful. Obviously, we already know Will Ferrell and Reese Witherspoon. We know them in everything.
Hmm.
So many things, especially Elf and Spirited with Will Ferrell, the Ron Burgundy,
Hmm.
and what the hell was the name of that movie?
Anchorman.
Anchorman. Thank you. So
You're
it's like we
welcome.
know him and everything. I couldn't remember the name.
Yeah.
And of course, Reese Witherspoon has really come a long way from the
Yes.
first time we
We
saw
love
her,
her.
and what she has done with the production company. Her production company is involved with this, so is Will Ferrell's production company,
Hmm.
which I think is kind of cool. They both had creative input within this. And
Hmm.
again, it's kind of you look at this, you don't not sure how it works, but it works.
It does. We thought so. Apparently, other people had other opinions.
Well, it's varied depending upon where you look. And IMDb, I don't take, and when I say this, I'm probably going to get some backlash, but in reality, it's one of these things that it's like everybody wants to be a critic. In
Hmm.
this particular case, we're being a critic. We're giving you our
Hmm.
opinions.
Yeah.
We're aficionados when it comes to film, TV, stars, movies. We love every aspect of them, but we give you a wide verse of whether or not we really like something or whether we really don't like something, or if something works or it doesn't work. So we
Hmm.
try to give you more of a personal, family owned perspective of, hey, this is how we feel about it. We're not
Hmm.
here to sell anything. We're not here. We don't get any payment. We don't get,
Nope.
there's no, we don't get free stuff
Nope.
for
Nope. We're
doing
not
this.
getting paid, and we don't
Nope.
get any swag for this. I'd love some swag.
We love
That'd be
some
great.
swag,
Hmm.
but we're just here to promote it because, we like to have good fun. This is our escape. And, as we've talked about in other podcasts and other arenas, film and TV has always been our escape, from when I was a child and when you were a child.
Hmm.
It was our getaway. This is how we cope with things. And,
Yep.
you go watch a good movie or watch a good film or a good series
Comedy.
or get involved in it, a good comedy, a great comedy, an action film.
Hmm.
You get to live within that realm for a little while in movies and film, or excuse me,
Hmm.
movies and TV. So it's kind of our escape. So yes, we're giving you a perspective from what we feel as well. But some of these people that are giving these reviews think they're the New York Times critic or the Hollywood Reporter critic or the variety critic, and doesn't
They
always come
they
across
think
that way.
they are, but
They
they're
think
not.
they are. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But
Yeah.
anyway, it's got a great ensemble cast. Geraldine, and I'm going to mess this young woman's name up, and I'm so sorry in the beginning. Vis Viswanathan, Geraldine Viswanathan. That's pretty good.
Uh,
Meredith Hagner,
I,
Jimmy Tatro, and Jack McBrayer, who each in their had their own unique story, flair to the story.
mhm.
And we know some of these. We know everybody, pretty much everybody that's in the ensemble cast. We've seen them in
We've
something,
seen.
one way or
Yes.
another. We've seen them in
Yes.
something. So they pulled the cast together, probably because of the two stars that are in the film itself.
Yeah.
They pulled these individuals, and we like them. We love them and everything
Yes.
that they've done.
Hmm.
So, and the fact that, the film following two families who accidentally double booked the same wedding. Will Ferrell plays. I understand this from a father's perspective. I did it with Caitlin. It's probably going to, I not probably, I'll admit it. It'll probably happen with Nicole too, because those are my baby girls, right?
Hmm.
And I want to make sure it's perfect for them. I do my best to be the best father that I can be. I know that you
Yes,
do
you
that
do.
as a mother.
Hmm.
So, as a father, Will's Ferrell character, obviously, he plays the over the top father of the bride, while Reese Witherspoon is determined to make the sister of the other bride better. And
Hmm.
the chaos that ensues between both of them fighting over who's
Hmm.
going to get what and who's going to do what, I think is both hilarious and heartwarming at the same time, because you
Yeah.
can see the.
There was a lot of laughing and but some touching things too. So,
Well, because I think
hmm.
it brings not everybody has their own stories. I think what's different between this and like the Father of the Bride, because Father of the Bride was a remake with Steve Martin. Steve Martin did a remake of the original Father of the Bride. So we obviously love Steve Martin and Diane Keaton in theirs. Kimberly Paisley
Hmm.
was the daughter in those
Hmm.
remakes, and it was a remake from Spencer Tracy's version, which was 40 years before Steve Martin's, back in the
Hmm.
1950s. Steve
Hmm.
Martin's was in the 90s, and I think there was three of them with Steve Martin. And that
Hmm.
one in itself, those we remember those distinctly. I remember
Yeah.
watching the old one with my parents.
Hmm.
At the time, it was probably rerun when I saw it, because I was very young. I don't remember when in the 1950s it was, but um, it, it changed quite a bit since then. So, you know,
Hmm.
we're not here to talk about Father of the Bride, but it relates to this, because things have changed
Yeah.
drastically
Yeah.
from 1950 through the 90s through today, when you see Will
Hmm.
Ferrell playing the father he's playing, because he's a single father, and we won't
Hmm.
and we won't discuss
Right.
the give away the reason why,
Right.
but he is attached to his daughter in such a way that he just wants to make sure. I I I I mean, I think sometimes I'm an overprotective dad, at times,
Sometimes, but
uh,
I don't think you're quite as over the top as his character.
as Will Ferrell is. But yeah,
But there's moments probably.
I'm sure there are. But I mean,
Yeah.
that's just part of being
Hmm.
a parent, and when you really care about your
Hmm.
kids. But they everybody in it, everybody, Will Ferrell. Your expectations of Will Ferrell. I think that's probably what most people are having a hard time getting over when they do the review of this rom com, because they're not used to seeing Will Ferrell in. I mean, Spirited is probably the closest
Yeah,
that's really kind of
I think
different
so.
from what his previous stuff was.
Hmm.
So what you see is you see his comedy, you see the
Hmm.
awkwardness, you see the hijinks, you see the goof, so to speak,
Hmm.
but you
Hmm.
also see a very serious side, like we did
Hmm.
in Spirited,
Right.
where he played a very a different character than he did in Elf, but it's kind of similar. There were some things in there, but
Hmm.
it was a broader portrayal,
Hmm.
showing his acting ability to be able to take it where it is. I'd seen
Yeah.
him in another film that I think they tried that, and it didn't really. It kind of flopped. So this is where I think they really brought their A game to it. And, the fact that I told you, here's the little secret. It's been a
Okay.
long time since we've seen Reese Witherspoon and Will Ferrell together. You ready for this? It was
Yeah.
on Saturday Night Live. There was a Little Mermaid skit with Reese Witherspoon and Will Ferrell right after,
Mm.
it was like post 9/11.
Okay.
It's an episode of Saturday Night Live just past post 9/11,
Hmm. Right.
and they were they delivered a comedy skit during that time. And she told Jimmy Fallon in an interview that she was scared out of her mind having to work with Will Ferrell. Actually, she was
Oh.
intimidated by Will Ferrell and thought, I have to do this with Will Ferrell.
Oh.
So yeah,
Interesting. I don't remember that. I'll have to look for that.
yeah,
I mean, I'm sure I've seen it. I don't remember that
well, considering they're in their 50th year, and the
in
reality is
SNL.
that this is like what 20. How long has it been? 20 years.
It's 23 and a half years since
So
9/11.
yeah, you would have to look. You'd have to look around the 23rd year, probably 24th year,
Hmm.
because I don't know how far afterwards. But so yeah,
Hmm.
that's the last time they actually worked together. So when they
Oh,
got
okay.
approached to do this, they were really excited about it.
Yeah. Well, it worked. I think it
I think so
was
too.
really good. Yeah, it was
Yeah,
really
I
good.
do. And obviously, again, we don't have to explain who they are because they left their mark in the industry, in the entertainment industry, and continue to
Oh
do
yeah.
so, both as an actor, actors, producers. Her
Hmm.
production company has really taken off and has done so many things. I think she's
Yeah.
part of what's that one we were watching? Big Little, was it Big Little Lie? No,
Um, yeah, Big Little
Big
Lies.
Little Lies. Big
Hmm.
Little Lie. Yeah,
But she's also part of the morning show too, isn't she? Her
she is part of the
production
morning show.
company.
She's a producer on that as well.
Hmm.
So, she's come a long way from when we first, her. Our daughter, if you saw a picture of our oldest daughter, she could be Reese Witherspoon's sister. We don't know
Hmm.
how we did that.
I don't have a clue.
We don't know.
No,
We don't know.
no. But when Caitlin was younger and we were taking her to
Casting
some
calls.
acting workshops, casting calls, there was one agent that was really, really interested in her and said that she reminded him of a younger Reese Witherspoon,
Yeah. And
and
then we
we
started
just weren't able.
watching all these and we went, oh, yeah,
Hmm.
now I see it. And now every time we
Yeah,
see Reese Witherspoon, we see Caitlin.
yeah, we do.
Every time we see her. So if you want to know what our daughter looks
Yeah,
like, that's what our daughter looks like.
yeah. And like again, we have no idea how we did it, but
No, no, we just don't. It's just weird.
mm-mm. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it when you look back at even the cast, I mean the cast, we know Geraldine, please forgive me again, Voswathanen, Voswathanen.
That's probably really far off, but
No, it's pretty close.
okay.
Viswanthan. Viswanthanen.
That's one thing
Hey
then.
Geraldine, I apologize, but maybe you could reach out and we'll
But we
come on
know
the
her
show and
from,
we'll correct it for everybody.
yes, actually, absolutely. And we know her from
Miracle Workers.
Miracle Workers,
Yeah,
which is
loved
a
her in Miracle
really cute
Workers.
show.
She's
Yeah,
got
she
an
was great.
extensive filmography aside from that, but we know her mostly from the Miracle Workers with Harry Potter. Man,
Daniel Radcliffe.
yes, I
Yes.
still see him as Harry Potter.
Okay.
He's grown out of that immensely, but
Yes, he has.
it's
Yeah.
especially
Yeah.
when you see him in the that series. So
Hmm.
that in itself, Miracle Workers kind of changes your perception a little bit. But once you go naked on stage, I guess it changed your perception anyway. I didn't. He did. Just for the
And we didn't
record.
see him. We
Yeah,
didn't
we
see
didn't
him
see
either. We
him.
heard about
No,
it.
but we just heard
We
about
heard
it. Yeah,
about it. Yeah.
yeah. So just for the record. So Meredith Hagner, we know her best from Shrinking. She's on Shrinking, which is one of our favorite things. We've had a
Hmm.
discussion about that, and we've also done a review on this one as well.
Bad monkey.
Bad Monkey, and boy, she's a bad bitch in that one.
Oh, oh, she is. she's really the one you love to hate in that
Yeah.
one. Oh,
Uh,
she was not. I liked her in this too.
she played it
Yeah.
really well. I mean, she really played it well because it
Hmm.
allowed her to, at least in this one, she in Bad Monkey, she was a real bad. She was a villain in Bad Monkey.
Yeah.
But you learned, like you said, learned to love. Um, and we reviewed that. If you haven't seen it, you should watch it, or go
Hmm.
listen to our review and then go back and watch
Hmm.
it because we don't want
Hmm.
to give any spoilers anyway away with that. But yeah, she plays great. She's a great in this cast as well because
Hmm.
she plays the part really well, and it's kind of opposite what we had just watched her in.
I think so. Yeah. Definitely opposite.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Hmm.
Jimmy Tatro, we know from one of our other shows, which they really shouldn't have canceled.
I know. I'm so mad.
Yeah, he played
Home
the brother, the
economics.
rich brother in Home Improvement.
Home
Oh,
economics.
excuse me, Home Economics. Don't know why I said Home Improvement. I'm thinking of the article I just read with Tim Allen. So because
Yeah.
he did Home Improvement, and then they got a new
And he's
show,
got a
Shifting
new show,
Gears.
which is also good.
Yeah, we need to talk about Shifting Gears, pretty
Yeah.
soon too, in regard to that.
What kind of?
But
Sorry, I got it like itch on my nose.
and Jack McBrayer,
Yeah.
he, everybody knows him from 30 Rock,
Yeah. And a lot
a
of
whole
other
slew of
things
other things.
where he's usually this kind of character.
He
But
plays.
he's so, I mean, I'm just thinking about that one scene and it just makes me crack up.
He was in several, so I don't know which one you're talking about.
When I talk about the hair,
Oh yeah,
he just,
yeah, yeah.
his
And there were
reaction,
several references to the hair. So, and
his
he
reaction
reacts
was
pretty
like,
much. Yeah, yeah, he's pretty
it
funny.
was so unbelievably perfect.
Well,
God.
it is it is it's a great cast. And the people
Yeah.
that are involved in it are just amazing. I think that everybody that's an ensemble with it just really bring it to life. And there's 100. I would say at least 100, 150 other people, extras and so forth, that are also
Yeah.
in
Oh,
and
yeah.
around this because of the wedding parties and things like that. But they all do such a
Oh,
wonderful job. The
wait,
chemistry.
we have to give a special shout out to somebody that you
Okay.
didn't mention yet. Leanne Morgan, who is a stand-up comedian
Oh yeah,
who I
yeah.
love. I love so much, and she plays Reese's other sister. And oh my God,
She acts just like she did on stage when we saw her in that special.
yeah,
Um,
her character is very similar to her stand-up character, her
yes.
stand-up. So if you love her stand-up, you'll love her in this.
Yeah, but yeah, she's almost not acting.
Yeah, but she did great too. I
She
mean,
did
don't
great as well, but I
yeah,
mean, she's not
yeah,
acting like herself is what she did.
yeah.
They
And
probably just
I
said,
think there were probably a couple scenes I think that they just said go for it,
yeah,
just do
they
your
said just be
thing. Yeah,
yourself, and there you go.
and they
So,
tried not to laugh.
so what do you think of the chemistry between Will Ferrell and Reese Witherspoon? Since we first thought, is this does this work? Does this not work?
I wasn't sure about it. When I heard about it, I thought, well, I love them both, so I'm going to give it a shot. But I wasn't sure about it.
Well,
But
yeah.
right away, it clicked.
Well, and I think that we were lucky in the fact that yes, we love Will Ferrell in everything she's been in. We love Reese Witherspoon in everything she's been in. And you
Hmm.
kind of, I've never ever pictured these two
Together.
yeah, in a situation like this, but
Hmm.
it did work. The dynamic did
Hmm.
work, and they brought their characters
Hmm.
to life. Immensely brought the characters to life, and I think it brings you through the movie. So, if you read any of the other reviews, Hollywood Reporter and Variety did a pretty good review on them, so I would
Hmm.
respect them a little more. But I think that you'll kind of agree with us. And I had to actually ask Diane how. Uh, well, I'll leave that out of there. But when I first looked at them, I thought, well, it's a huge age difference, but there really isn't.
Oh, the age difference. It's not.
Yeah, yeah, it really isn't.
It's the same age difference as you and I. So
Yeah. So then I
yeah,
went, okay, that still that works. And then
yeah.
there's a reason for that, which gets cleaned up later, and you'll kind of see it. So, we'll see. But some of the funniest moments, you just mentioned one of them, kind of, sort of.
And it's so subtle, it's very subtle.
Well, these
One
guys
of
are
the funniest.
pros. I mean, these when I say
Oh,
guys, the guys and gals, women, both men and women, everybody that's in there. It's got the lady. I always forget her name. She's the blonde, heavy set comedian. She played the boat captain.
oh, Fortune Feimster.
Yes, Fortune
Yeah,
Features in it.
yeah. And
Everybody
it's
in
not.
it.
She's not in it enough. I don't think. I love her.
Yeah,
She
she
wasn't in
she
it enough,
isn't. She wasn't. She wasn't.
but she's in it too.
But everybody really does a good job to bring
Yeah.
it forward, and it gave me. I mean, I was interested. I didn't want to get up.
Hmm.
I had to pee, and I sat there and waited and waited and waited. We have a pause button, right?
We do,
I
but
could
it
have
was like
said
so
pause that, and
good.
I'm going to go pee, but I didn't.
We,
It's
we
like
didn't
I
want to stop.
just didn't want to stop about it.
Yeah,
But
that's good.
I think that some of the funny the oh, man, it'd be hard to say what's really funny
I
about it because I don't
know.
want to give it. I'll say spoiler. So, because I got to say this part. There's
Okay.
a spoiler alert. I'm going to tell you something that's in the movie that's kind of a surprise. So if you don't want to hear this, you need to stop it now and
I
then
think I
go
know what
watch
you're
the
gonna say.
movie and then come back and pick it up from here. But when Reese Witherspoon walks in and Will Ferrell's in bed with an alligator,
Yeah, I knew that was the part you were talking about.
it's like uh, that's one of the that's one of the funniest things I've ever seen, and and the conversation that ensues with
I
them.
know. And what she says, and
And
it's
what
like,
she says is like fantastic. It's great.
oh God.
Yeah, it works really well. So that I will just mention those couple, but there's a lot of funny scenes in here. There's a lot, and the
Hmm.
dynamics work really really well. They play off of each other really really well. The
Yep.
chemistry in all the cast, I think, is good. You can
Hmm.
believe the families. You can believe I,
Yep.
some of the family stress and everything else was going on. That reminds me of my family. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
And so it did really well. How do you think the
Hmm.
film portrayed the stress and excitement of planning a big event? Because we went through that a couple times.
Yeah. I mean, um, yeah. I don't know that the planning. They didn't go into the. They were kind of like they talk about the beginning and the engagements, and then kind of the next thing is they're there at the venue.
Well,
So
but they have to work. The planning, I would say, more is involved in having to figure out how to ha- how to accomplish what and I'm mincing my words. How to
yes,
accomplish what they need to accomplish to make everything work out for everybody involved.
right.
So there
When
is
they
some
get
planning
there.
in regard to that and some
Right,
chaos.
right, right. Yeah. No, I think it. Um, I think that there's really nothing else they could have done. I mean, than what they all agreed
Than
to.
what they all
And
agreed
I
to.
thought, and I think that the agreement they made of how to make it work was kind of like, okay. I mean, that's really they were really splitting it down the middle,
Yeah.
like to things that you couldn't really split down the middle, and yeah. So I thought it was. I think it showed, look, people can make things. People can agree on things, even the hard things. You know, Um, so that was kind of good to see that they didn't fight too long over how to make it work. They compromised right away, which I thought was
Yeah.
interesting.
But well, at times it took a little bit longer on some things, but they do
Well,
eventually
yeah,
get things worked out.
things got messed up,
Well,
but
and
yeah.
I think it's chaotic at times,
Hmm.
but it's really heartwarming. And what you see is not only a comedic side, but you see the stress, and you see the love, and you see the heartbreak
Hmm.
in some of the things. You know, it
Yep.
pause for the heartbreak portion of it, where you kind of go, "Wow, that it really catches you, it touches you."
Hmm.
I'm pointing to
Yeah.
my heart, but you don't see me pointing to
It,
my heart.
no, it had it had everything. I thought it was great. So
What do you think the overall message of? your Cordially Invited kind of brings to the viewers and what they should look forward to.
Well, I think compromise within families, first of all, and communicate. Well, okay, compromise when there's a hard situation with strangers, um, communication within families,
Yeah.
and how important that is, and um, kind of putting yourself in the other person's shoes.
Yeah. Because in the midst of all the chaos, you
Hmm.
see family coming together, which I think is a good message for everyone involved.
Hmm.
It's a good movie. I say I know that on IMDb they're giving it like a 5 out of 10 or something, or 7 out of 10. I'm giving it
Yeah.
at least a 9 out of 10 or a 10 out of 10. I really enjoyed
Yeah.
it.
At the very very least, maybe 8.5 at the very least.
I would say at the least, yeah. And
Yeah.
realistically, yeah, while you're on here, if you haven't seen it yet and you're going to go watch it, be sure to continue watching because there's things that
Yes.
go through the credits that are important to the
Hmm.
show. It continues.
Yeah.
It's not just the bloopers.
No,
It's actually a continuation of some
the
additional
movie.
scenes of everything. So
Hmm.
watch
And
the
it
whole
kind of
thing.
wraps things up.
Yeah, I mean, you'll see a point in it that when you get to that point, you're going to see that okay, now it's time to stop it if you don't want to watch the rest of the credits,
Hmm.
kind of a thing. You'll get to that point, you'll recognize that point, but
Hmm.
there's a lot of stuff that you got to watch up to that point that is really important to the whole story of the film, and that might
Yeah.
be why a lot of people are going. I just didn't quite get this because they never watched.
The
They
whole
didn't. They
thing.
stopped it before it hit
Right.
those points, I think, and it's
Right.
imperative to the storyline and to the film.
Yes. Very important.
So,
So don't
ab-
don't just when the credits start, don't stop it. Keep watching.
so absolutely, my
Hmm.
recommendation is thumbs up if I could do it, and you
See
need to
it. See it. See
you
it.
need to see it. It's
We
on
need to get
Amazon
a. We need
Prime.
to. We need to figure out a ratings thing. So like it's over the teacup. So 5 teacups. I don't know. Like what's our top rating? Are we doing teacups? Are we doing sugar? Teaspoons of sugar?
Well, I don't want to promote. This is a 5 teaspoon sugar,
Teaspoon sugar? Right now. That's
kind of
unhealthy.
deal. We'll say
That's unhealthy.
uh, we'll call it a yeah. Let's go out of 5 teacups. I'd say this is a 5 teacup show, or at least 4.5.
4.5. Right.
That's a
Yeah.
new thing. Welcome to Over the Teacup.
Where our rating system is teacups.
It's teacups.
Because we're not really that original.
Hey, we can stack them, right? How many teacups can you stack? Well, 5. If it gets get too high,
You're
it'll
gonna
fall
have to
over.
you're gonna have to come up with the graphic for that.
I will have to
Where
come
the,
up with a
the
graphic for that.
teacups ad go on top of each other.
Yeah, we'll square that away.
Or if something really sucks, you show them stacked and then they fall
Yeah,
break.
that's a
That
good idea.
sucks.
See, you're with us on our community is with us on this journey of discovery.
And invention and
Yes. So
crazy, whatever.
this is one more thing before you go. Do you have anything before we leave?
It is National Tater Tot Day. And no, I really, really want some
Tater
tater tots.
tots.
Like a big old plate of tater tots covered with cheese and bacon and ranch dressing.
We could do our rating system in tater tots. Is it
Oh,
a 10 tater tot or a 3 tater tot?
I like it.
A 10 tater tot or a 5 tater tot?
I like it.
With your cup of tea.
Hmm. With your cup of tea. I don't know if tater tots and tea go, but whatever. Anyway,
Well, that
that's
works.
it.
Everybody go out and have a plate full of tater tots. Don't choke. Chew it
Oh,
well.
yeah. Have a plate for me, please, because I really want some and I don't have any.
Grammys are on tonight, so we're going to let you guys
Yep.
go because we know that everybody wants to go see the Grammys. We want to go watch them ourselves. We've been watching all the
Yep.
up to stuff and the gowns and the suits and the tuxedos and the hats and you name it.
Love the fashion. Love it.
So, one more thing before you all go. Thank you very much for being part of our community. Thank you for being here. Please like, subscribe, write a review for us on Spotify, on Apple, on YouTube. It helps us to grow. It helps us to bring more content to you.
Please,
We
please, please,
appreciate
please,
you.
please.
If you have anything to reach out for, Michael at one more thing before you go.com, or go to the website at beforeyougopodcast.com. And there's a little microphone on the right-hand side of the page. Leave us a message, and we'll get back to you. In the meantime, have a great day, have a great week, and thank you for being here.
Bye. Happy Sunday.
Thanks for listening to this episode of One More Thing Before You Go. Check out our website at beforeyougopodcast.com. You can find us as well as subscribe to the program and rate us on your favorite podcast listening platform.